What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 67 of the Get Your Gear Out podcast, bringing you the hot takes, play stories, and spicy picks on New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Nashville, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Andrew Stein, joined around by Megan Cunningham, Alex Reach, and Marcellus Murdoch. Listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also show up on Twitter at GetAGameOutP. And with that said, it's time to get your game on. What's good, everyone? How's everyone doing?
I may have to kill Alex in a bit. Updates about my Duke team right now.
Why? What was Alex doing?
Just
whatever you said, just made Alex left. Congratulations, Michael. You made Alex left.
Real?
Yeah.
I'm back.
To be honest, did you leave because of what Michael just said?
No, I had to go lower the volume on the TV.
Oh, okay, yeah. Smart man.
Even though Villanova can't win a game to save their life because of Eric Dixon, who plays like shit every year.
Excuse me.
You heard me.
They're now on the 6-game winning streak.
Zach Fremantle is a better player than Eric Dixon. Enough said. Adam, all seriousness, what we got on the show today?
All right, Michael, you want to know what we got on the show today?
Yeah.
Guess what? You were talking crap about Villanova. Well, guess what? Myself, Alex, Marcel, so what we're going to do to Michael? Let's talk crap about the Cowboys. Woo!
First of all, I got a lot of things to say about the Cowboys. I got a lot of things to say.
I'm sure you do.
Screwed us up, Adam.
But the NFL wild-card round was raised.
No, that game was bullshit.
There was a lot of Michael. Let me do my introduction. There was
Fuck your introduction
for the wild card round. Some good matchups, some boring matchups. But I think the headline was the matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. And I was watching this game. I watched all the games, and this game is crazy. But we're obviously going to start off with the elephant in the room, and that was the very, very controversial way that game ended. And there's two sides you can look at this from. You can blame the referee for for getting in the way and not giving the Cowboys the ball all messed up. I get that, because if the ref gives the ball to them cleanly there, if he gives the ball to them cleanly there, they would have like 1 second left. They would have at least had one play. They would at least have had one play. So I can understand if you're a Cowboys fan not being mad with the officiating, but I'm gonna be honest, guys. That play call was up there in my opinion with Pete Carroll not giving the ball to Marshall Lynch. That play call was up there with Tony Romo fumbling the snap.
Whoa!
An atrocious play call.
First of all, it was not an atrocious play call. First of all,
it was.
Let me explain. Hold up.
Explain yourself.
First of all, I was watching that game the whole game. For a snap, the referee.
You have 14 seconds left, and you not only decide to you have Dak Prescott run the ball, but you have him run into it straight and shoot all that time on the clock. If you're gonna have him run the ball,
the ref cannot be in the way of a snap. We all know
that.
And let me ask you a question. In any sport, does the referee ever get in the way of the athlete's way in any play? Does a referee go for a basketball, for example? Does a referee go for a foul shot and get in the way of the foul shot?
No, he doesn't.
Thank you. In baseball, does the umpire block the batter from hitting the ball? Try to hit the ball? It's the same thing in football. We in 70 at least 100 years of football, I never seen a referee try to block the snap.
He wasn't trying to block stuff.
Come on,
just got
are
in the
you
way.
blind?
Wait. You're saying that he was deliberately trying to cost the Cowboys the game?
No, I said it wasn't. He was in the way of it before we had the snap.
If we'll say he was in the way, fine. I can understand that point.
We could have got the snap off easily. Think
about
it. It was 3 seconds left.
At the same time, you could get
It was 4 seconds left on the play clock when the snap was going.
Dak did? Dak had the football to the center. I forget his name, but he had the ball to the center. He should have had the ball straight to the referee. The referee has to hand the ball first. If Dak hands the ball off to the referee places the ball. He doesn't get in the way.
But at least put an extra 3 seconds. That's all I should have said if the referee got in the way. Put extra 3.
I agree. You should have had like what? I agree. There should have been like 1 second left, but at the same time.
But you're not telling me. You are telling me, my friend, that the referee is not should be responsible for the Cowboys losing that game, and because
he has something to do with it. He has something to do with it, but I gotta give a lot of the blame to the Dak and the Cowboys. Like,
no, it was not Dak. It was the defense.
And
the
B,
defense.
They completely mishandled of giving the referee the ball. It's rule 1: the referee has to touch the ball before the center does. It's football 101.
Yeah, no shit. But however, me and my friend Anthony Prada, who lives in Teaneck, had the same talk. I believe. Here's the thing. We're in Dallas. We're at the AT&T Stadium, one of the biggest football stadiums in the NFL. We all could agree to that. You got at least 80,000 Texas Cowboys fans that are reckless in there. I'm gonna be brief, Adam. I'm gonna be real. Real act recognizes real, pimping. There are a lot of reasons why the Cowboys lost that game. There are a lot of reasons. One, their penalties kept killing them. First of all, both teams played like shit. Both teams played like shit. Let's just be real. The 49ers got lucky that they won because they played like shit at the end. We could agree, Adam. The 49ers play like shit, and the Cowboys play like shit.
Mm-hmm.
We all could agree to that. Am I right, boys? They both play like shit.
Both sides had the fair share of controversy. For example, like that game, like that play, like towards the end where the 49ers trying to climb up, that play, like, for example, I'll give the 49ers props for this. That play before the 4th and inches one, where that awful false start penalty, that was just an atrocious. You absolutely cannot take a false start there. You absolutely cannot take a false start there. But the play before that, I tweeted out, like, Kyle Shanahan, that was one of the greatest play calls I've ever seen. That play call was one of the greatest play calls I've ever seen. And then, what was it, Trent Williams, I believe? Then the false start penalty, that was just a complete abnormal against they ultimately forced them, the 49ers to put in. I remember we were watching the game together, Michael. You heard me saying I thought the 49ers should have even if it was 4 inches. Because if you go for it and you miss, then Dallas has the ball at like what, the 40 what, their own 40?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've only had to go 6 yards to get a touchdown. If you punt the ball, then you in the back and to the field position, and the defense just has to hold all Dak and the Cowboys offense for 30 seconds.
100%, brother.
And I will say this: when we talk about what the 49ers did wrong on that drive where the Cowboys were marching downfield, the 49ers played terrible defense. That was they were just laying down complete alt types of passes. They were not covering the side of the field. They were not trying to keep the Cowboys from getting out of bounds. That defense that the 49ers played, like, nearly cost them the game. Like that was just really, really sloppy defense from 49ers there. And the 49ers, they got lucky. They got lucky in this game because if they don't do that run play call, then they very likely have a decent chance of getting into the end zone. That's
100%,
because they would have at least one, if not two. Well, obviously, if the play call worked, they have 1 second. They would have had one they would at least have one shot to get into the end zone and like ultimately win the game. So also, my takeaway from this game, guys, was there was a lot. It was obviously a very exciting game, but I obviously I was not a step. I mean, the 49ers played a decent game, but they didn't play an amazing game, and I don't know if I don't want to hit that towards our wild card, our division round predictions, but let me just say, if the 49ers play the way they did against Dallas, the way they play against the Packers, they're going to be in for a rough time. That's all I'm going to say.
We all know Packers going to win in Green Bay. There's no shot.
Yeah. I mean, Alex, Marcellus, you guys have been classified. You want to give your thoughts on the Cowboys 49ers game, everything we've been saying?
Don't let Alex say nothing.
Let Alex go. Let Alex go. If he wants to be a hater, let him be a hater.
Alex, I swear to God, if you disrespect any team besides you can't. If you say anything about the Cowboys,
remember, Michael, if he disrespects your team, you can disrespect his team right back.
No, I'm not petty. I'm not going to do that today because I know. Let's just say, Alex, I will literally virtually smack this shit at you from this camera if I'm physically able to do it. Continue. Just saying.
Continue, Alex.
Okay, let me start off by saying my adrenaline was pumping just like it was like an Eagles game like that. And it was definitely one of those games where I was nervous as hell that they would. Sorry about that. They would definitely lost my train of thought. Sorry. I feel like they definitely had the Dallas definitely had the chance of getting to the end zone with less than 15 seconds left, and I agree with Mike. They should have put a couple of seconds more because of the ref being in the way. I think it's just not fair for my perspective that they shouldn't be like that. And it definitely costs the game for Dallas, which they lost. And I agree with Mike that the rule should change that like the ref shouldn't be able to be in that position with that amount of time. The ref should just the ref should just have the ability to just stand there on the side and let the players do what they do to get the football ready to snap the ball. And in that perspective of that game, I just don't think that it's right for them to end that game like what they did. And I mean, I know I hate Dallas with a passion, but I still have heart of the game, and this is just not a right circumstance.
I mean, I actually hit the nail on the head, brother. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, myself, your turn.
America's team, man. What happened, Mike?
You
want to call your cousin for a little bit?
America's team, man. What happened? Nah, but you
better than your Jets.
We're not talking about that, man.
I'm a Jet fan. I had to say it.
But you, I mean, look, you guys knew the way the 49ers been playing the last couple of games of the season that, you know, it wasn't.
They got lucky.
It wasn't. Nah, you can't say they got lucky.
They got lucky. And because
the Cowboys, Mike, the Cowboys do this every year, man. This should really just be a ritual at this point.
First of all,
they always play great.
We got screwed.
They always play great.
We got screwed.
Listen, they always play great in the regular season. You know, everybody, all these Cowboy fans.
I got a lot of things to say, but
all these Cowboy fans, they always get their hopes up. But this has been happening for a while, man.
Screwed. As long as Jerry
Jones is still in that office, it's gonna happen every year. That's the problem right there. McCarthy is not a good coach.
Cousin right now? Can I physically kill a member of the
Mike McCarthy is not a good coach, and this has been proven. This just goes to show.
Better than Joe Judge.
He is better than Joe Judge. That's right.
Yeah,
and that's not saying much. That's not saying.
Better than Joe Judge is the compliment.
Mike McCarthy is in the hardest fan base to play.
That's like saying. That's like saying that
Adam, shut up.
That's like saying that Tony Romo is better than Mark Sanchez.
Tony Romo is better than Eli Manning, but that's a here or there situation.
That is not true.
Mike,
true.
You want to know something?
We'll save that debate for another time.
Adam, I'm a Cowboys fan. I will never give Eli Manning credit for shit.
Mike, do you want to know something?
I'm a Giants fan and sing to Tony Romo.
Tony Romo is better quarterback.
I'm kidding. I don't have any see towards Tony Romo.
Mike, you want to know something?
What's up?
Dak Prescott and Tony Romo have the same record in the playoffs now.
Fuck you.
Wait, how many playoff wins does Dak Prescott have?
He's 1-3. 1-3, and so
Tony Romo has 2. Tony Romo has 2.
He took us to the big dance.
Yeah, but you see that Duke game too? Let's talk about that.
Who's something? Alex, you were saying about Duke?
We're not talking about Duke this episode.
Please, Adam. Please. I beg you.
We're not talking about Duke unless Mike wants to do it from Mike's hot take. Alex has
been giving me hell about Duke. Please. Adam.
What we got?
Adam, if you
our
love
viewers want to hear NFL. Our viewers want to hear about the NFL wild card round. If you want to talk about Duke, save it for your hot take.
Adam,
right?
Adam, you're not the boss of us. We can do whatever we want. It's a hijack, nigga. We're talking about Duke basketball. How do you like us now, Alex, you piece of shit? How do you like Duke basketball? What? What's that? What? Oh, he's quiet. Marcel, did you hear that? Alex is quiet.
Just like that, it's going to overtime.
What's going to overtime?
Duke game.
What's the score?
67-67.
Who are they playing?
Florida State.
Oh, okay. That's probably interesting.
First of all, Duke is not
going to the NFL wild card round. I got now. I gave Michael a little bit of. I put Michael on swag about his Cowboys. I feel like it's only fair that we put Alex and my friend Alex here on the spot. That game.
I got one question for Alex. Alex, what the hell were you thinking Tom Brady was going to lose?
Yeah, this man picked the Buccaneers. This man picked the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Alex, do you have any thoughts on do you regret your pick at all?
I mean,
what's your thoughts on that game?
First of all, at least my pick was believable. His was like, I'm swinging for the fences and hoping for a home run.
I mean, it didn't go the way I wanted it to be for sure. But, I mean, picking the Eagles against the Buccaneers, I think a lot of Eagles Twitter and including myself had the mindset of the Eagles actually getting the job done in Tampa Bay. But I think that seeing Tom Brady do what he did, he's definitely a very solid quarterback, and he's unstoppable this year and the years in the past, and the Eagles just didn't have it what it took. And I mean, I gotta put my hat out to Jalen Hurts, and going through every practice, getting himself good as possible. And I mean, I'm not looking at this playoff game like they played terrible. I mean, just in the start of the season, everyone thought that they would not make the playoffs. And guess what they did? They made the playoffs. And
barely.
I think and like knowing that, that's how much heart Philadelphia has with this football organization, and having the chance to get into the playoffs at least, and going up against one of the best quarterbacks in the league showed a ton. And I think that this type of Eagles team has value in the future, and it's, fans in Philadelphia have to believe that this is not the end of a great organization. It's the beginning of something that they will build off of in the next 6 years or something. And I think that having the chance to have Jalen Hurts at quarterback with some great weapons, some great young weapons like Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Jalen Rager, and some others, I think that this team is capable of getting back into the playoffs next season. And I'm just really glad that they punched themselves into the playoffs this year. I mean, I don't care that they lost against the Buccaneers. I'm just happy and glad about Nick Sirianni getting his team into the playoffs, which was really hard, but at the end of the day, they got what they needed, which was getting into the playoffs. And I'm now looking ahead to next year with a chip on my shoulder, and I think that they're going to have a great season next year, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it was definitely ugly loss. They were not. It was definitely a knock game, but they were just facing a much better talented Buccaneers team, I feel. I agree. It doesn't take a credit away from what the Eagles achieved this season, because no one had them making the playoffs. Literally, no one had it. You heard me coming in saying that I thought this was going to be a rebuilding year. You remember during our season predictions, I had them finishing like fourth. I had them finishing last in the AFC East. And then to take and then to like for that team to like really like grind out and like ultimately get a playoff spot. I mean, it was also a great year for the Eagles, and if you're an Eagles fan, you should be optimistic going forward. You should be optimistic going forward.
Yeah, the fun part of this team is that it's a very young team, and that there's a lot of expectations going into next season, and getting some off-season moves to make. And I think that this team has what it takes to go even deeper than what they did against Brady, and not advancing to the next round. I think that having 3 first-round picks in this upcoming NFL draft will definitely help this Eagles team get where they want to be. And I think that people outside of the Eagles fans of Philadelphia, I think that people don't realize how good this team can really be. They just are missing some great pieces, and that each and every year until probably 2026 or 7, I think that from now until then, I do believe that they can make a run and they can definitely do some damage in the playoffs starting next season. And I'm just a really big Nick Sirianni fan. I believe what he does, and you can see by the personality he has in his press conferences that he cares a lot about his team. And I just love a coach that has that type of personality. And it's just a really good look for this Eagles team.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at the rest of the wild card slate. I mean, I will say though. I mean, another game that was not competitive that I didn't expect to be not competitive because you heard us say during our playoff predictions that this was a game that we were torn on that we were all torn on. Buffalo just destroyed New England, man. I mean, it was not even close. It was not even close. And I will say this, but I will say this, like, I think I heard them, they were talking about this on First Take. Will Bill Belichick ever get another Super Bowl ring? And I think and I don't know. I mean, would I put completely past Bill Belichick to get another Super Bowl ring? No, I wouldn't put it past them. But with the way things are going right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the no side because that game against New England, it wasn't because that game against Buffalo, that was a game that a lot of people were picking the Patriots. I personally picked the Bills, but if someone had picked the Patriots, I wouldn't have blamed them. I thought it was going to be like a close game. I thought New England was going to be into the very end. It wasn't close. Buffalo just. It was not a close game. Buffalo just. Josh Allen went 21 of 25, 308 yards, 5 touchdown passes to North. He just he had a perfect quarterback rating. I think he had a perfect quarterback rating of 157.6, or I think it's close. I mean, I'm not sure if that's technically considered a perfect game, but Josh Allen just shredded the Patriots defense, which is one of the best defenses in the NFL coming, I believe, statistically wise, by the way, and he just completely shredded them apart. So that's another game that caught my attention. The fact that the Patriots are just not competitive in that game. Michael, you had something to say?
That game, first of all, that game with the Patriots, that was just the worst performance I've seen them play in years in the playoffs. We all could agree to that. It was terrible. And I think Bill Belichick's championship days are over, my friend. I don't think Bill Belichick is not going to win another championship. He had a great run. He had a great run in the NFL. You know what I mean, Adam? He had a good run.
Oh, he had a good run. He had a great run. He had an all-time run.
He had an all-time run, but I think the dog got to retire. You know what I'm saying?
How old is Bill Belichick? Let me check.
60-something. Well, Robert Kraft is 80-something, and he's on the NFL, so I can see it.
He's 69. He's 69. He turned 70 in April.
Adam, he likes 69. Adam, he likes 69 with prostitutes.
Damn.
I'm weak.
Yes, you are.
I am an asshole. Yes, I am.
Michael's an asshole. Yes, he is.
No, I'm a damn good one.
Yes, he is. He's an asshole. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, my friends.
I am a damn good.
Shout out to my old music teacher from public school number 4.
Adam, you suck at singing. Don't ever sing again. You made my ears bleed. I'm kidding.
All right, the other game that I don't know if you saw that game. This was another game that I thought was kind of good because it was a blowout. That Rams Cardinals game, man. Did you watch that?
Oh, just to let you know, I was actually on the plane during that game, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, you were in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to take a flight back, so yeah, but you didn't miss much there. It was a blow. Rams won 34-11. Kyler Murray just was not good. Let me just put it that way. Kyler Murray was not good. It was his playoff debut, and he was facing a very good Rams team. But I am happy for Matthew Stafford, man, because now he finally gets to silence that. Oh, can he get done in the playoffs a bit? He finally gets that weight off his shoulder, because coming into this game, Matthew Stafford has never won a playoff game. He had yet to win a playoff game, and he had yet to win a playoff game in his career. Now, a lot of that could be attributed to him playing for the Lions, but still, there's still that narrative of Matthew Stafford's been a great quarterback. He's had a great career. When are you going to win a playoff game? When are you going to win a playoff game? So he finally gets that weight off his back, and now they're going to be going to face Tampa Bay, and I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. And also another guy who had a great game, and say what you want about his quote unquote antics. Beckham Jr. is a stud, man. When he's locked in, he buys into him, and he buys into the situation. He is legitimately one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, he had an amazing touchdown grab. He had 4 catches, 51 yards. He had that amazing, throw. I mean, Beckham Jr. is just a really, really good football player.
I just hope that Buda Baker is recovering quickly.
Oh yeah, that injury. Oh
yeah.
Thanks for reminding me about that. That was nasty. That was nasty.
I was very surprised that game was not as close as people expected it to be. And I think you definitely got to give credit to Los Angeles for getting the job done. And I'm very excited to see Matt Stafford against Tom Brady. That's going to be a very entertaining game for sure. I'm actually going to be rooting for the Rams in that game because I can't root for Tampa Bay because of the Eagles game. And
because everyone hates Tom Brady.
Yeah. I just think that it's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on for sure. I mean, from now on, every NFL playoff game in this upcoming round is going to be a very entertaining time of watching, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna preview these matchups during our next episode. We're definitely gonna spend a lot of time previewing the matchups on our next episode. So, before we get to Mike's hot take, I did want to do one more football story, and that is the Giants' ongoing general manager search. Apparently, there is one candidate that is really appears to be the front runner right now to land a Giants job. Guys, do you know who it is?
Who is it?
Joe Schoen, the Bills assistant general manager, Joe Schoen. The Giants did a virtual interview with them, and on the 18th, this past Tuesday, not Tuesday, or is it Tuesday? Yeah, this past Tuesday, they completed a second interview with Bill's assistant general manager Joe Schoen, and we kind of talked about it on our last episode, but if Joe Schoen is the hire, like I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain because like I said before, they're getting a guy from outside the organization. He's very qualified. He's done a really, really great job helping bring the Bills back.
Hold up. I got something to say. Hold up.
Go ahead.
Adam, wrap it up because my hot take is very, very pissing off as some person that.
I just think. Wait, hold on. Before we get to the hot take, I just think. Honestly, I think the best coach for the Giants right now, man, would probably be Brian Flores. I don't know how you feel about that, Adam.
I mean, I would like Brian Flores as a head coach. I would like Brian Flores as a head coach because I said before he's very qualified because he brings head coaches skills, which is what I want. Which I do prefer. Which I'm not against hiring like a first time head coach, but after the last three guys were like first time. Was Pat Shermer a first time head coach? I mean, I don't know, but I have to look it up. But I wanted to get a proven head coach. The one thing that there's two things about that with Brian Flores that kind of like turned me away. One was you have to solve out what happened with Tua, that whole debacle we talked about last episode, and three. I don't know if you heard about these reports. Apparently, like Brian Flores is looking to pair up with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's his guy.
And I tweeted this out. Unless Watson is somehow like cleared of all like his allegations against him, I would want no part of the Giants like bringing Deshaun Watson. No, please no. Unless they have some sort of inside information that leads them to believe that he's going to be exonerated or acquitted, then I don't know, you're getting like a really like what you're definitely gonna get a elite quarterback, but with the stuff he's being accused of and all the credible accusations against him, no, please no.
I just feel like Brian DeBull. I don't know if he's gonna be the right one because you saw what he did with Josh Allen, but you guys.
Yeah, Brian DeBull is apparently. Brian DeBull is going to be very high on the Giants candidate list for the coach, and I wouldn't hate it. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't hate it because here's the thing with Brian DeBull, like look at the work Brian DeBull did with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, it's easy to look at his success and think it's because of like his talent. Which I give Josh Allen all credit. Really, he's really like he's really taking his game to another level, but. People forget his first 2 years, Josh Allen struggled. Josh Allen really struggled, especially his first year. Like he was looking like a bust for like his first like couple of years. Like it took him a while to develop, and now you look at him, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So you've definitely got to give Brian Daboll a lot of credit for helping develop Josh Allen. So if Brian Daboll is the Giants' next head coach, like I wouldn't complain one bit. If Joe Schoen is the Giants' next general manager and Brian Daboll is the Giants' next head coach, then I wouldn't complain one bit. The one thing I will say about Brian Daboll, and it's kind of similar to a complaint I have with Eric Bieniemy, is that how much credit does Daboll get to compared to Sean McDermott? Like how much credit does Brian Daboll get Wake compared to Sean McDermott?
None. Veto.
Yeah, you have to give him some credit though, because I'm sure he definitely I feel like he's definitely had something to do with it. So if Brian Daboll does become the Giants' next head coach, I wouldn't complain one bit. So, but the one thing I said before, guys, the one thing the Giants are doing there, I'm so happy for, they're hiring guys from outside the organization. That's the big mistake that they've made for the past like half decade. They haven't gotten guys from outside of. They were always looking for guys either A, inside the organization, or B, had ties to the Giants in the past. Like they're always looking. There's always looking like, for their quote unquote comfort zone. That's not the case this time. They're getting out of their comfort zone. They're bringing guys from outside the organization that are going to come in, look at this mess objectively, and help clean it up. So that's all we're gonna say right now. I mean, we'll find out. We'll definitely keep an update on this Giants general manager head coaching search. So if a GM candidate is decided like by the time for next episode, you can expect us to really talk about that a lot. But enough football talk now. For now, we gotta move on to the segment of the show.
Hype it up, brother.
That is about as epic as Metroid Dread. Mike's hot take. Mike, are you gonna take it away?
Let me tell you something. I've been getting a lot of phone calls about I've been having a shitty week, but certain person could make it better. Ignorance made it kind of worse. A certain person that I ranted about before that I promise I couldn't say his name on the show because let's just say he asked one of our viewers, he asked one of our hosts, one of our co-hosts, that we couldn't use his name because he got embarrassed on the air. Adam, Alex, Marcellus, you know where I'm going with this? A certain person that goes to TCNJ College, who's a fifth year, by the way.
Go ahead.
Saying that Purdue is the greatest college basketball team of all time.
Okay, John. I know where we're going with this. I know where we're going with this.
Talking about John.
You say Purdue is the greatest basketball team of all time. Well, how many college championships have you guys won in sports? How many? If anybody can see Purdue's college basketball championship, if you can name one time they won the NCAA tournament, I will pay everybody $100 on here. Alex, can you name Purdue's championship run that they ever had?
I have to look it up.
You can't because it was a trick question. They haven't won shit. Duke is better than Purdue for life. Marcellus, how many championships does Duke have?
Too many, man. I lost count at this point.
How many tourneys we've been to?
We're pretty much in that thing every year, man.
Exactly. We only missed it once. We all could agree. Coach K is the greatest college coach besides John Woodson alive to ever coach college basketball. And Don Haskins.
Mike, I just looked the most back in 2019 in the Sweet 16, Purdue played Tennessee.
That's the only time they made something. So, John, if you were smart enough to figure this out, no disrespect. Here's the thing, Adam. You're familiar with college basketball.
I'm familiar with it. I mean, I'm not as knowledgeable about it as you guys.
How many great players? Alex, name one. If you can name one NBA player that came from Purdue. Name one NBA player that came from Purdue besides Carson Edwards and Brad Miller, who didn't play because he didn't get drafted. Name two players. If you can name one player besides those two, I'll be impressed. Besides Glenn Robinson, who was the big dog. That was a different situation. Where did the big dog go? That's the only score I can name three. That's it. Can you name
I can't name any.
Oh, exactly. And I love the big dog, and that was Glenn Robinson. He was called the big dog. Hey, Marcellus, can you answer my question? Guys, feel free to chirp in. How many players did Duke put into the NBA? At least over 100. At least over 100,000. No big deal. Let's see, guys. The NBA's been around since the 1940s. It's the 75-year anniversary of the NBA. You have the ABA. If you guys don't know what the ABA is, then you're not real basketball fans. The ABA was the league that turned the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It was some other league besides the NBA.
I know the ABA, yeah.
I think we all know the ABA. Alex,
I
you know
should
the
know
ABA?
the ABA. The Nets won championships there. Remember back during the
Dr. J Afro days.
the Dr. J days.
Alex, like, who the hell is Dr. J? Alex, please tell me you know who Dr. J.
Wait. Are you telling me I don't? That's right. I don't know who Dr. J, a Jewish
Not
Irving
you,
is.
fool. I'm talking about Alex.
Okay, you're talking about Alex. Good. I was concerned there,
No,
Mike. I was concerned there.
I know who you're talking about.
Don't say Dr. Pepper. We ain't talking about Dr. Pepper. All seriousness, guys. Hey, John Brody, if you have any sack of balls, I'm coming at your manhood. You will come on the show, and me and you are going to have see who can get in a championship longest, Duke or Purdue. If you have any balls, if I'm this is my word talking to God because I'm God myself. If you have a sack of balls, you will come on this podcast and defend your reasons why Purdue is a great team. I just named you 5 reasons why they haven't done shit. Alex, make the call, buddy. Make the call. Make it happen. I don't care. One of my good friends, Shakir Lindsay, will be on our show too. So he will probably knows basketball probably as well. You know what? I'm a petty motherfucker. Everybody knows me. I got a tongue up like a motherfucker. I don't back down from nobody. So, John, if you're watching this show, fuck Purdue, fuck University of South Carolina, because you flip teams more than you change your underwear. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're watching this, Duke is better than Purdue. More championships, more NBA players, probably the greatest college coach of all time. So, if you're watching this, here's to you, and you don't know basketball. End of my hot take. There you go.
That was a really short hot take this time around, but honestly, it was short and sweet. I mean, I don't really like you going after our friend John Barati here, but Michael, you bring up a lot of great points. I definitely would love to get John Barati on the show to hear his side out of the story. So John, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on. But Michael, I'm gonna approve this one. But a lot of great points and kept the short sweet, so I'm approving it.
I approve too.
Alex, go ahead.
I approve.
Okay, unanimous approval.
I deal with facts. And Adam,
I'll give you that one. That was a good one.
I go with facts, not gossip. Here's the thing: if Purdue wins a championship, I will kiss my own ass and bow down to Purdue if they win a championship. Guys, I'm serious. I will wear a Purdue shirt for a whole day if Purdue could go near the championship. Because you don't know what they do best. They sucked so much dick lately. And they have up Carson Edwards' ass. They haven't done shit since he was there. I'm moving on.
All right, yeah, we're moving on now, guys.
Sorry, guys, I got a little heated. My apologies. I just can't deal with stupid idiots. That's all.
I feel like all of us.
I'm trying to make motherfuckers famous.
Dumb people.
I'm tired of making dumb people famous up in this bitch.
Making dumb people. Honestly, guys, I feel like that applies to a lot of famous people nowadays. Or the very least,
Antonio Brown, we don't support you. Skip Bayless, we don't support you. Jose Altuve, go fuck yourself. Carlos Correa, definitely go fuck yourself. Can I keep going more?
Go ahead.
A certain person that was in office, go F yourself. There you go.
Don't mention his name. Go ahead. You can't mention his name, but go ahead.
And to Jim Jones, not the rapper, but the cult leader, you can go F yourself. Who's that baseball player that we can't stand?
Carlos Correa.
Not yet. No one. The one that's the rapist.
Oh, Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer, you can definitely go F
yeah,
yourself.
Definitely him.
You can definitely go F yourself in a twist, you rapist. We can all clap for what I just said. Let's all clap.
Oh, and I got another one. Marcus Stroman.
Okay. Derek Jeter, we support you, brother.
Oh,
Alex
yeah,
Rodriguez. If this was my father, this would have been what I said about Alex Rodriguez. Go fuck yourself. That's from Paul Cunningham, my father. Because he hates Alex Rodriguez with a passion. Now, who else? All right, what we also got?
Oh, I got one. James Dolan.
Me and James Dolan have a love-hate relationship. Mostly
That was a hate relationship.
It's love because he made me. He's the reason how we got Carmelo, but it also screwed us. But however, it's like 99.9% hate, 1% love. Because I can't hate somebody.
Let me get me started on that guy, man. I hate James Dolan.
I can't hate somebody 100% because that's just not me. I hate him 99.9% of the time. That means I really hate 100% of the time. Because my mother said I can't hate somebody 100% with my heart.
No, I just hate him because he really tried to say that the Knicks should have not went for KD because of his injury. Come on, man.
I mean, yeah.
It's just foolishness. You're going to miss out on one of the best players in the league
was
for that.
Truly a
soft reason
thing
like
where
that.
he was trying to deflect heat, like make it seem like the Knicks passed on KD, when in reality, KD passed on the Knicks. KD turned the Knicks out. He wanted to go to the Nets.
Please.
Soft, man. Stupid GM. Stupid owner, my fault. I don't mind Scott Perry. James Dolan is the problem.
James Dolan, you a piece of shit. We already know this.
I still don't know why he has a job, honestly.
Because he owns the Knicks, the hell?
So you need to get a new owner because that shit is not it.
If you could buy, if I had money to buy Knicks, I would damn well do it.
I'd be in favor of Michael Cunningham as the owner.
I'd imagine me as the owner of the Knicks. You think I'll do a great job?
It would be hard for you to do worse.
I can't do worse. First of all, my president.
Done here. We gotta talk some NBA stuff. Are you done?
Yeah, I've been waiting for you.
Okay, guys, but we're gonna move on to some NBA talk here. Michael, your Knicks made a big trade for Cam Reddish. I just wanted to see if we get Michael, myself, the two Knicks fans in the house. You want to talk about the Cam Reddish trade?
Love that trade.
I love it.
Great. It was a great trade, honestly.
I absolutely love that trade because we got Cam Reddish for a bag of chips.
Exactly.
And Cam Reddish is a scorer, which is good.
Trade with the Atlanta Hawks. They acquired
because
Cam
now
Reddish,
you got Duke, Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett.
Kevin Knox had 2022 first round pick via the Hornets, so isn't even their first round pick to the Hawks for Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill, and Brooklyn's 2025 second round pick.
Yeah.
That was a great trade because they're getting a really, really solid player in Cam Reddish. And B, now you have Cam Reddish and you have RJ Barrett. That opens the door for you to potentially lure Zion Wilson once he becomes a free agent.
I think he will. Here's the thing for what we did. We got Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett. Played well at Duke together. We can get Zion. Here's the thing. But I think we're going to trade Randall and a couple players to get Zion. That's our next goal. Because in our plans, we're going to build around RJ Barrett. That is our goal. That's what they're going to do. Build around RJ. I think it's a bad idea, but they're going to go to Zion next. You know what I mean, Adam?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I would trade Randall just yet.
They said they're trading Randall because Randall doesn't want to be a Knick anymore. He already said it.
I wouldn't say he doesn't want to be a Knick. I mean, he wants to be a Knick. He just can't handle the bright lights.
Here's the thing.
Saying,
in New York, we are Knicks fans. We are brutally honest with what we want. We want a championship. We'll say it. You play like shit. You play like shit.
That's why Philly and New York are two of the top places to play at.
First of all, and I got something to say about Ben Simmons too. Ben Simmons is the biggest piece of shit in basketball history.
Well, he might have a home soon. He might have a home soon, Mike.
What?
He might have a home soon because apparently the Kings are talking about trading for him.
Who wants him? First of all, you
didn't hear about that?
I know about that. Here's why. Ben Simmons, you should just retire from the league. You're a big crybaby, a big stat. You are 6'10" point guard.
Come on, Mike.
You should be probably the second best player in the league.
Mike.
If you know how to shoot.
Sound ridiculous.
You are a fucking Magic Johnson reincarnated, for God's sake.
Nobody
stop you.
Come on, Mike. You can't discredit him because he can't shoot. You can't do that.
First of all,
he's an all-star for a reason.
He's a converse of Magic Johnson. He's like a second coming of Magic Johnson as a point guard.
Here's the thing, though. I've always thought that Ben Simmons is overrated, not because of his talent, because he's definitely like an all-star, but he should be so much better than he is, man. If he was just a below average shooter, he would be one of the top 5 point guards in the league.
Here's the thing about Ben.
If he was a below average shooter, he would be one of the top 5 point guards in the league easily.
But here's the thing about Ben that you guys are forgetting, though. He's playing in Philly. He doesn't need to shoot. You don't need him to shoot. You got these guys around him. All you need him to do is make, and play defense. That's what he does. He plays hard. He plays the defense. I mean, he doesn't really need to shoot. You think he needs to shoot in that offense? You got Tobias. You got Joel. Those are guys you play around. He doesn't need to shoot.
A little bit. You don't think that would make the Sixers better? Like really help out the Sixers if he was just able to shoot? They're a 6 seed right now. They're a 6 seed right now. They could easily be like one of the top 4 teams in the East if Ben Simmons was a good shooter. I mean,
you gotta give him credit though. Yeah. I think you gotta give him credit. And I hate Philly. Alex knows this. I hate Philly.
Alex, you're the resident Sixers fans here. What are your thoughts on this discourse that we're having about Ben Simmons?
I mean, I think you just got to give the guy more time to process his game of basketball as a whole. I think he has what it takes defensively, but just needs to improve his offensive skills with shooting. And I think that people don't realize that he was a top player in the draft for a reason. And I think he still has that capability of demolishing the league with his athleticism defensively. I just think that the Sixers don't necessarily need him anymore. I wouldn't be surprised come deadline day of him moving out and Sixers getting a whole new.
I think the Sixers need Ben. I mean, the 6th seed without him, it's still good. It's still a good sign, but with Ben, they're top 3 easily.
I mean, I don't think we need Ben because we got Tyrese Maxey. He's got the same skill set as him, and he
does, but he's not 6'10" though, bro. He's not 6'10", like, you know what I mean? It's just a different presence. Don't get me wrong, Maxey is tough. I love Tyrese, but I'm telling you, you guys need Ben, and Ben doesn't want to come back. Obviously, we know this, but you can't blame him. I mean, at the end of the day, he did have a shitty game, yeah. I mean, a lot of people have shitty games. That happens. But that Philly fan base is rough, man. You know, they just like New York. They don't like what they see. They're going to want you out of there. He doesn't like that. I guess he feels he doesn't like that. If I'm Ben Simmons, man, I'd just play ball. I really don't. You gotta as a professional, you gotta be able to block the noise out. You just gotta play ball. That's what you're getting paid to do.
Especially in a market like Philly, man. Especially in a market like Philly.
Exactly. And you have Joel and Tobias. It's not like it's a horrible team. The team is not horrible at all. They have a good team. It's not a bad team at all. Not a bad team. When you really look at the roster, it's not bad. I mean, you guys got Thibault. Thibault is a great defensive player. You guys are solid because you got defenders and you got offensive players as well. It's a good team too. You know what I mean? It evens out.
Plus, we have Korkmaz. He's
exactly.
Been tough.
Like it evens out. You know, you guys got players, and then you got Andre Drummond. I think got the talent.
I think how. I mean, I definitely see what you're saying, and I think that if Ben Simmons stays in Philly, I think that the whole play-making mentality is going to change dramatically, and he's probably going to have to be on his A game every single game. And I mean, I'm just really curious to see if he comes back. Does he play with Maxey at the same time and have them like?
Well, he's not coming back. He's not coming back, unfortunately. But I don't know if you guys heard about this rumor that I was bringing up earlier. I just read about it. They said that the Sixers might move Tobias and Ben to the Kings for De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, and I guess like a couple of picks or something. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing.
I thought that wouldn't be like that good of a
trade. You guys, but if Philly gets De'Aaron Fox,
you would have to include like a couple of picks to make that trade worth it.
Yeah, you gotta include picks. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but if you guys do that,
because De'Aaron Fox, while he's a great player, is he ever going to be on the level of like of a Simmons or
no,
Tobias Harris?
Not necessarily, but he's one of the fastest point guards in the league, man. I mean, like you can't discredit him because he's playing on the Kings. The Kings suck. You know what I mean? He has.
I'm not discrediting him, but
you know what I mean? If you put him on a team like Philly, man, he'll be motivated to play. I'm telling you. It will be up for Philly
because he's a great player. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but
Buddy Hield is solid, and Harrison Barnes can still play. Those are three good group of guys that can actually make your team better.
Yeah,
I strongly believe that. You pair them with Joel Embiid, is over. Especially a player like De'Aaron Fox is over. He would definitely thrive with Embiid. I believe. I believe so. As far as for the Kings, I mean, you get Tobias and Ben. The Kings are making any noise anyway, but I do love Tyrese Halliburton. I believe that if you have a Ben and Tyrese Halliburton combo, that is one that could work out in their favor in the long run. It won't happen in the first year, but I believe in the long run they'll be able to do something special.
I personally don't see a trade between the Kings and Sixers working out.
It might not because the Sixers are asking
for either side. I just don't think that trade makes a lot of sense.
I think it does. I mean, why not? I mean, they obviously
it could make sense for the Sixers, but
yeah, but they want.
If you're the Kings, like, why would you give up like all those picks for Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris?
They want to get rid of Tobias. They feel like if they're getting rid of Ben, they might as well unload Tobias' contract too. I mean,
no. I'm not talking about the Sixers. I'm saying why would the Kings do that trade? Why would the Kings do that?
Why would the Kings do that? Because they obviously want to get. You have to get rid of one of them, Fox and Hallie. They tried the experiment. It's not working. Those are two players where they both can run the team by themselves. It's just not a good mesh. I mean, you could keep Fox, but I don't know if you can keep both, man. Honestly, we're seeing it right now. Those are two great young players, but it's hard to. It's kind of like I can't even say this, but I'm trying to think of a good duo that was supposed to. Anyways, pretty much they're supposed to be a lot better than what they are right now with a combination like that. But like I said, I feel like you should build more talent around Sacramento. But who the hell wants to go to Sacramento? Nobody wants to go there. That's the issue.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's just how I feel.
All right, but do you guys want to get back to talk about the Knicks a little bit more? Because get back game back to that Cam Reddish trade. You know, I said before that the reason why is like now we have Cam Reddish and RJ team up. You could potentially recruit Zion Wilson to
Adam,
come to New York.
I'm gonna tell you what, Adam. I love that Cam Reddish trade. The moment I saw it went down, I was just like, yes, I love that trade because if you watch some of Atlanta's games this year when they were shorthanded and Cam Reddish, was responsible for the offense.
Yeah, he's a really solid player. He's a really solid player.
He had 2 games where he put up 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's only 22 years old, man. Like, to see that potential right there, I mean, he's going to grow. He's still young.
He could be one of those pieces where he could be like one of your starting
Nate McMillan compared this
man. At the very least, a really great piece off the bench.
He compared this man to a young Paul George. You don't get that often, but
I feel like Paul George, that's a stretch. I can't see Cam Reddish becoming Paul George.
If you look at it though, he's really a 3-and-D player. He has that potential in this league. He has the same,
Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish is a great player. What are you talking about?
He's a great player, but I'm saying Nate McMillan coached Paul George. So for Nate McMillan to say that, obviously he sees a little something. So I'm saying,
Adam, you didn't watch basketball. Cam Reddish could be an all-star. That's how he could be an all-star. Easily.
No question.
He could be an all-star. He just said he is compared to Paul George. I can't see him ever becoming Paul George level.
He could be a Paul George.
He could be. He has the same.
I don't think so.
Bro, he has the same length. He has the same height. He has
the same ball skills as Paul George.
Paul George at his peak is like one of the top 15 arguably top 10 players in the NBA. I can't see Cam Reddish.
Come on, man. In the bubble, he was just pandemic peak. Come on, man.
He's just 21, bro.
He's only 22.
He's only 22.
I'm not saying he can't be a really good player. I could see him being an all-star. I could see him being an all-star. I just can't see him being like a Paul George level where he's like,
here's the thing, nobody's gonna be that good. Let's all be clear.
Who can you
Paul
see him
George,
being?
When he first came to the league, wasn't really that good. He wasn't really that good.
Exactly. We're not gonna act like Paul George was kicking the moment. You know what I'm saying?
He became the GOAT when Danny Grange got hurt. That's when he really became good.
When Danny Grange got hurt. When Danny Grange got hurt,
I can see him becoming kind of like what's the good comparison here?
Don't say anything stupid, Adam.
It's kind of a hard comparison, honestly.
I can see it kind of becoming like a Karis LeVert type.
What?
Nah.
Maybe better than LeVert, but like one of those players where he's just he could be like a really, really good player.
All right, so I'm gonna also bring that up because you brought up the whole Zion thing. Yeah, I understand. Everybody's bringing this assumption up. It would be great, but at the end of the day, it's still the New York Knicks. So we're not going to put our hopes up. We were supposed to get Zion. I definitely think, because a lot of people are ready to write Zion off, but I'm trying to tell everybody that I think Zion is doing this for a reason. This is the most he's weighed, like 300 and some pounds. He doesn't want to play in New Orleans. You bring him to New York, he'll be motivated to lose that weight. He'll be motivated to get in shape again. He'll want to play. He'll be with his 2 best buds. He'll be in New York. It's a whole different situation. It's a fresh start. I think that's the place he needs to go.
Was Zion Williamson's roommate in college. People
and actually, Adam, when they interviewed RJ about it and they asked him about it, he said, and I quote, "We're not going to talk about that yet. We'll just see in due time."
So that means he knows something. He knows
something we don't know.
Oh, definitely.
Mark my words. Trade line, deadline. Zion Williamson is coming to the Knicks.
He's not going to get traded. They're not going to trade for Zion.
Zion's going to break.
But they're not trading for him.
His rookie contract ends next year. Ends this season.
And I believe it ends next year.
Yeah,
it's a 3-year. But he could break his contract. He has a trade clause. He put a trade clause in his contract, so he can be traded.
Only thing is, the Pelicans are gonna ask for hella pieces.
Oh, they're gonna ask. They're gonna ask for the moon and stars. And I say he's gonna be a free agent. He'll be a restricted free agent. So even the Knicks do decide to offer him the max, like the Pelicans can match it. So it have to be a situation where Zion would like want out of New Orleans.
He doesn't want to be there. You can tell he doesn't want to be there.
Adam,
he said that
he gained so much weight. That's a plus. That's
well, if he does want out of New Orleans, our buddy Sam here is gonna be happy.
Sam, if you're watching this, Zion wants out. Get used to it, bitch. I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. But Sam, Zion is most likely going to stay with the Pelicans. It's like Dr. Dre, is the rapper Dr. Dre, trying to teach Snoop Dogg how to read. Snoop knows how to read. It's not going to happen. That's a whack. Zion Williamson staying in the Pelicans is like Alex Rich getting a girlfriend. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay, before we get to our bets, one last basketball story here. And as a Nets fan, it obviously hurts me. But Kevin Durant's hurt.
Yeah, you guys got nobody now.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad injury. I saw.
Yeah, that was a really bad. Yeah, what was it? An ankle sprain?
It was an MCL.
MCL lefty. Oh, that's nasty.
That's a very devastating injury, man.
Yeah, he's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained MCL, which
the very I think the last
I think he should be back in mid-late February.
Kiggy had that in the past, though, right? Didn't he get hurt with his MCL before?
Yeah, so it's definitely a situation where the Nets definitely aren't going to rush him back, and they shouldn't, but in the meantime, it does. Nets are quickly losing grounds in the standings. Like they used to be first place in the East all by themselves. Now they're in third place in the East. They just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are currently a game. That's only a game ahead of the Cavaliers for fourth. They're currently right on third place. They're only a game ahead of the Cavaliers for third place. Granted, they're only a half a game out of first place between Miami and Chicago, but I mean that's right now. They're right now in a bit of a slump, and losing Kevin Durant for 4 or 6 weeks isn't going to help things. And to make matters worse, Kyrie Irving recently said to the media, if you had any hopes of Kyrie Irving potentially changing his mind and getting the vaccine, I got some bad news for you. Kyrie Irving has said that even with the latest injury to Kevin Durant, he will not be getting the COVID vaccine. So the only hope for Kyrie Irving for our hope for now for Kyrie to potentially play in home games is for the mandates to change. That's the only hope right now. Is that later on, coming when the weather gets warmer and the surge that we're going through is down. Maybe maybe New York ends up lifting the vaccine mandate, and Kyrie will be able to play in home games. That's the only hope right now for us to get Kyrie Irving back on the floor at Barclays.
First of all, I don't think the Nets are going to win the championship if it's a home game. They're not going to win it.
If he doesn't play in home games, I'm a Nets fan here. If Kyrie doesn't play at home games, then I'm gonna be worried. If this bullshit lasts in the playoffs, I'm gonna be really worried. And
because you guys should be because here's the thing: you guys have home court advantage. Let's just be real. You gotta get home court advantage, right?
If anything, them losing these games kind of helps them because if Kyrie is not gonna be
Yeah, I need to get the 5th seed. You need to be the 5th.
We would need to get we would need to like get a lowest seed possible to ensure we have road games as much as possible.
For you guys will be the 5th seed. That'll be perfect. You guys don't want to do the play-in. That'll be the perfect seed for you, the 5th. Because the 1st seed, 2nd seed, 3rd seed, and 4th seed all have home court.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. They all have home court advantage in the playoffs.
I mean, I feel like the Nets could survive like a first round series with Kyrie for only 30 games, but once you get to like the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference Finals, you're gonna need Kyrie for at least 4 of those games.
But he's dumb enough not to get the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, we've ranted on Kyrie before. I mean, Kyrie, let's say, just get the vaccine, man. I mean, for him to like, I mean, I would honestly love to have Kyrie Irving on this podcast, and that would, if he was on this podcast, I would ask him like, what are you accomplishing with this stance? Like, why are you risking, a chance at a championship title? Why are you really like risking all this just to avoid a vaccine? Why?
You already
I honestly would genuinely love to hear his reasoning. I would genuinely love to have his reasoning. What is he like? Why is he so resistant of this like vaccine that is like free and safe as possible? Like, I want to hear why is he so like refusal of this vaccine? Why? I would love to hear Kyrie's like
Adam. He won IG Live already
because obviously he Kyrie. I'm sorry. We always can simply Kyrie's a diva. He's a head case and all that, but I find it hard to believe that any human being could be that eye-numbingly dumb to like risk millions of dollars and a chance at an NBA championship over a dumb reason for a vaccine. I can't believe anyone could be that stupid. So I'm assuming maybe Kyrie does have like a valid reason for not wanting to get vaccinated. He
already said it, bro. He already said why. He just doesn't like the fact that he feels like people need to get vaccinated, and if they don't, they lose their jobs. He just doesn't like the fact that. I kind of agree with him.
It depends on like So if he supposedly vaccine mandates, and I said before I don't like to get political on this podcast, but I feel like we have no choice right now too. I agree to that. My rebuttal to Kyrie that was me is that some places like require vaccine. I feel like some places like vaccine mandates are for their own safety. If you're like a doctor or if you're like working in the medical field, like I'm sorry, I completely understand how you vaccine mandates because you're working in a public health environment. If you're working in schools, also if you're working like in a place where like so many if you're working like where you interact with a lot of people, I can understand those places having vaccine mandates for their employees because it helps keeps everyone safe. The only reason I could understand like someone like I can understand someone like not getting vaccinated and them like having a valid reason, like okay, like they should still be able to work, is if they have like a specific instruction from a doctor that allows them like not to like that says like like they can't get the vaccine, like because I heard I heard this one story that someone like their apparently someone who had like some sort of an operation or surgery, like, and the doctor told him, hey, like they specifically told him to not get any vaccines that it could mess something up, and like those are cases like I could understand like someone being upset about someone losing the job. If they have like a bad reason to not get vaccinated, then I can understand like being upset about them losing their jobs. But all this other stuff about the like for most people like saying like I'm doing my own. They're saying like all this bullshit conspiracy theories. The government like is like injecting track chips to our bodies. I tell those people just get lost. If it's like conspiracy theories like that, like really, and you're not gonna get the vaccine because of that, really, grow up. Like get out of here with that.
I mean, he's just the message. I mean, he's really trying to preach is that, it's bigger than basketball. Adam. I mean, obviously, you know, people want him to just shut up and play, but, a lot of people want us to, do that and preach that. But I've been telling a lot of people this, man. I feel like the NBA is not the same without Kyrie Irving.
Oh, definitely.
Not the same without Kyrie Irving. It's definitely been weird not seeing him play. I still don't think he should be a part-time player, obviously, but, the Nets feel like they do. The Nets do need him. We're not going to say they don't need him. They definitely need him. So I feel like the reason why they definitely did that is because, like you're talking about, they probably realized that, they do need him. At a time like this, they do need him because, like you said, they're slipping down standings. KD's out, so now you definitely need him because Harden can do it, but they don't have they don't really have the pieces, the winning pieces. You know what I mean? Like if it's just Harden by itself. So I mean that's where they feel like they need to bring Kyrie in. But the whole thing about Kyrie, like I told you, his whole stance is bigger than basketball. He just doesn't agree with some of the protocols that's coming along with it.
And I will say though, I do agree.
That's really
I will say though, like one thing that does bother me about the NBA, the New York City's protocols is that they have us that home players like local players like Knicks players and Nets players all of them have to be vaccinated or they can't play.
It's stupid. It's stupid because
but people like visiting teams like. If someone on their team is unvaccinated, they can still play. Like it's
that's
bullshit.
What I'm saying. I was just
it's bullshit. To say like either if you're gonna have a vaccine mandate, have it for all players.
Yeah, Bradley Beal isn't vaccinated.
All players.
You know that, right? Bradley Beal isn't vaccinated. He was playing in New York, so
exactly.
I agree with that.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I agree with that. You can't just limit it to New York.
If Kyrie Irving is like bothered by that, I am completely with Kyrie on that one. I'm completely.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
Yeah. He's basically saying, "Why should I get vaccinated and not play?" And there's a lot of NBA. I see what he's doing.
I see what he's doing. Yeah, I see what he's doing. I kind of at first I was on Adam's side with it. You know what I mean? I was like, "Come on, dude, just play." But as I was watching the IG live and I'm seeing everything unfold, now I kind of see why Kyrie's doing it. He's trying to send a message. I just feel like he's doing a good thing. I honestly think so. I see where he's trying to get to the point at, and I don't blame him. I don't hate Kyrie for that. I don't blame him.
Sorry, Adam. We flipping sides now.
You're flipping sides. We're changing sides.
Yeah, man. I just bad.
We've heard us on this podcast, like. We've talked about the vaccine before on this podcast. We honestly we said before, like if you're able to get the vaccine, we're not going to discourage anyone from getting a vaccine. In fact, we encourage people like on this podcast. We encourage people like if you haven't got a vaccine for COVID yet, definitely do so. Like we definitely encourage it, but we're not going to sit there and degrade anyone for not getting the vaccine, except for unless their reasoning is like some conspiracy theory BS. If someone has legitimate worries about the vaccine, I'm not gonna blame them for not getting vaccinated. I'm not gonna criticize them for not getting vaccinated.
I just think the whole point of that whole thing is that I feel like Kyrie feels like obviously with this whole vaccine thing, man, to really go in the public places, you really got to be vaccinated. To go to a game, you got to be vaccinated or show a negative test. You know what I mean? So this is obviously something that's, going to be in the world for a while.
I can understand why people are doing that because with Omicron surging like that, people and how many people are getting COVID, I can understand them doing that because they want to protect people. I don't know if you heard this story, guys. Did you see First Take the other day? Stephen A. revealed that Stephen A. Smith revealed that we all know that he's he's taking some time off battling COVID and
he almost died.
Exactly. He revealed that he was in the hospital. He had 103 fever that his battle with COVID like was really like rough, and the doctor told him that if he had not got vaccinated, that he likely would have died.
But here's the thing that's a little...
like with these vaccine mandates, a lot of time they're for your own safety. Here's
the thing that's weird about it, though. The thing that's very weird is that I've heard that a lot of people, I mean, I'm vaccinated. I haven't got COVID once yet, luckily. I'm going to knock on wood on that.
Yeah,
I'm going to knock on wood. But a lot of people are getting COVID now after they get vaccinated. So now it's just like it becomes to a point where, like, is a vaccination really a cure?
Like, here's the thing, though, Marcel. So here's what I'll disagree with you is that the vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. It just prevents you from getting like for most of the time getting really sick or dying. Because the doctor told Stephen A. Smith if he had not gotten the vaccine, he likely would have passed. So the whole point of a vaccine, like, so it's still also worth it to get the vaccine because it really helps your immune system prepare for COVID in case you come in contact with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like a lot of people, even some of my close friends. I mean, they vaccinated.
Like a lot of people think that getting a vaccine automatically
COVID.
prevents them from getting COVID. That's not true. I mean, what it does is that it prevents you from getting either A, prevents you from getting really sick, or B, prevents you from dying. Like your chances of like dying for COVID or getting really sick with COVID are significantly reduced if you're vaccinated versus whether you're not vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, as long as COVID's in this world, man, it's gonna be a little crazy.
These past what was it? It's been almost 2 years now since this mess started. Oh my god!
Yeah, March is gonna make it 2 years.
It feels like, how long has it felt like, guys?
Honestly, I thought by this time COVID would be done with. I really thought that.
I remember before. I remember before when this whole thing started, thinking, "Oh, this will be done in like August or something." Oh, you poor naive fool, Masana. You poor naive fool. All right, guys, but I feel like I've had enough talk about COVID for one day and Kyrie and Nets, all that stuff. I've had enough talk about that for one day. So you guys know what I'm in the mood to talk about now. You guys want to guess what I'm in the mood to do now?
The bets.
Our bets of the episode. To recap us episode, only two of us won our bets. Only two of us. Marcellus, you very fortunately were one of them. You had the Suns over the Pacers on the spread -5.5. Suns blew out the Pacers. It wasn't even close, so that was an easy 9.09 points for you, buddy.
There you go.
And another winner, me and Michael, Michael had Duke over NC State, and it's probably he won that one. But me and Michael decided to go head-to-head. He took the Cowboys over the 49ers. I took the 49ers over the Cowboys. Michael Cunningham, guess who came out on top? I won my bet. I add 13.06.
If I could get away with murdering Adam right now, I probably would do it. I'm thinking.
Alex, my friend, you had New Mexico State over Auburn Christian. You had Southern Oregon over North Orwell, Texas over Iowa State. I forgot to check the results of that game, but you told me you lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to tell me which of the teams lost? Because I forgot to check.
I think it was I forget also.
Okay, we'll double. You could go double check. Grizzlies of a Chris had the Grizzlies over the Mavericks on mine, and Desmond on the over. Chris, my friend, unfortunately, the Grizzlies' winning streak came to an end, and so did Chris's 3-bet winning streak. He was riding the Grizzlies really high during their insane winning streak, but unfortunately, it came to an end during the Mavericks. And Sam had the Pelicans over the Nets. Magic over Hornets, Pistons over Raptors. Sam nailed his last two bets, Magic and the Pistons. He only needed the Nets, the Pelicans over Nets to complete what would have been a monster parlay, but unfortunately, my Nets beat his Pelicans, so that ultimately wrecked his parlay. To give an update on the standings. By the way, Michael Cunningham, you remain on our ringleader. You remain in first place. 30 and 36 record, 379.06 points. I love how Michael's still in first place. I just checked, Michael. In your last 10 bets, you want to know what your record is?
No, I do not.
1-9.
I said no.
Michael Cunningham is 1-9 in his last 10 bets. And he's still in first place by a wide margin. But watch out, Michael Cunningham, because I'm starting to catch up. I am in second place, 29 and 37 record, 330.43 points. Chris is in third place, 30 and 36 record, 317.75 points. Alex is in fourth place. He got knocked out of the top. Wait, no, he didn't get knocked out. He got knocked out the episode before that. 26 and 30. Alex is in fourth place, 26 and 40 record, 306.38 points. Marcellus, you remain in fifth place, 36 and 30 record, 283 points on the dot. And Sam remains last place, 29 and 37 record, 239.68 points.
That's crazy. I'm in fifth place with a positive record.
That's crazy. You guys get more risky bets. You gotta become a gambler, Marcellus. Become a gambler.
I like my safe picks. I like my safe picks.
Yeah, we like safe picks.
You like safe picks.
Yeah.
You know what they say, like Marcellus, go big or go home.
That's right.
All right, so we do not have Chris's bet yet. I'm going to try to...
Yeah, we have his bet.
We have his bet? What is it?
Homeboy picked.
Oh, yeah, I got it. He's taking Kentucky and LSU money line in a parlay.
Adam, are we allowed to do high school bets for high school basketball?
I don't think so.
Nah, because I want to put for my nephew.
If we did high school bets, it would be kind of predatory, so no.
Good point.
Oh, Adam, I have a question. How about Division III hoops?
I would say stay away from that.
My nephew is like my godson is like the number one ranked high school player in the state, so that's why I was going in the country. So I was gonna go with DJ Wagner to score 30 or more.
Okay. We wouldn't be able to get you odds on that anyway. So, but we do have Chris's bet, and we also have Sam's bet. Sam's taking the Magic and Rockets on the money line in a parlay.
Does this boy have no shame?
Okay, here. Oh, by the way, Sam, I just asked Sam. You guys talk about the Knicks, and Zion potentially leaving his Pelicans. We received a statement from Sam about that. You want to hear what he had to say?
What did the buffoon have to say?
Quote: even if he leaves, he's too much of a liability and won't do well with the Knicks fan base, as he will take time to be a player he's made to be, and they won't allow him, as they will expect a lot of him right off the bat.
Just sounds like a sore loser.
It sounds like a little girl. Sounds like somebody on his period.
All right, but I'm gonna go with my bet now, guys. I've got a really juicy one. I've got something that I feel like is gonna really be juicy. It's a road game. I'm only like less than 50 points out of first place. So I need something that's gonna, really, kind of jumpstart me to really start to chip away at Michael Cunningham, and his lead, if you will.
Okay.
So you know what I'm gonna do?
What? Go on,
we were talking so much about this team during their last episode and this player. So it's a road game. He's playing. They just came off a tough loss. I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets over the Washington Wizards on the money line. And I'm taking Kyrie Irving on the over 24.5.
This game
Kyrie Irving has been playing great basketball as of late. He scored 28 points in the loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Nets are going to bounce back against a Wizards team that's good, but Nets are, even without KD, I still say the Nets are better than the Wizards. It's a road game that's played great on the road, and I think Kyrie Irving is going to easily nab that over. I've got the Brooklyn Nets under my line over the Washington Wizards, and Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. Who wants to go next?
I always go last, Pimpin.
You go last. So, Alex, you usually like to follow me. So,
I'll do a parlay. I'll do a parlay if Alex isn't ready yet.
No, Alex, you're ready, right?
Alex can't read yet.
Ooh. So, I am going to do 1 second. Cleveland. 1 second. I'm going to do Chicago money line against the Cleveland Cavs.
I don't know about that one. Zach LaVine is still out.
Oh, actually, can I change it?
Go ahead.
No, okay. I don't know. Should he change it, boys?
He didn't lock it in yet. He didn't lock it in.
He didn't lock it in.
Plus, we've allowed people to change their bets from way later, so.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Wait. Are you texting Eli right now?
Are you texting Eli right now for bets?
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not.
He probably is. Shows your whole
sneaky,
phone.
Alex. That's sneaky.
Don't worry, I don't think he is. I'm
about to say, you can't win without your own brother.
Okay, I got it. So I'm going to go at the Hawks money line.
Who are Hawks playing?
The Timberwolves.
I don't hate it.
And
who else?
I am going to do Capitals money line against Bruins.
I don't hate that either.
I don't hate that bet my damn self.
I have the hockey band. Well, I need to do one sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you gotta do one, brother.
Definitely, but Marcel, you're up.
I'm gonna parlay Sacramento -5.5 spread over the Pistons. And now I'm going to take the Jazz -12 over the Rockets.
Okay, Kings over Pistons. What was the spread again? 7.5?
5.5.
5.5 and
Jazz 12 over the Rockets.
Jazz over who's Jazz playing again?
The Rockets.
Okay, gotcha. -12, right? And Kings were -12 too. Cut -5.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Ringleader, Michael Cunningham. Last up, go ahead.
I've been really, really pissed off right now because every time I pick a team, they lose. Ooh, this Heat Trailblazer game looked good. Wait, hold up.
Choose wisely, Mike. Choose wisely.
Okay. Because I know basketball better than anybody on this podcast.
Choose wisely.
I'm gonna go with the Warriors over Nuggets, but that's not until that's in February. Let me get to January. Let me get for games of the week. Okay, I'm gonna do Bucks versus Grizzlies. No, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna do shit. I'm gonna do Bulls versus Cavaliers. Is not Zach. Nah, Zach Levine's not. I'm not gonna do that. Zach Levine's not playing. I'm gonna do Mavericks over Raptors. I'm gonna do a parlay. Mavericks over Raptors in Dallas. The way how Dallas has been playing.
Mavericks over Raptors. Okay, gotcha.
And my Knicks over the Pelicans. That's a gimme.
All these are money line, right?
Money line.
Okay, Knicks over Pelicans.
I want to do Warriors versus Pacers and have Curry giving me 25 or more.
I don't think you could do a same parlay without the rest of them. So
all right, I will take out Raptors versus Mavericks. I'll take that game out.
And you would have to take out Knicks and Pelicans too, I believe.
Yeah, I can do a same game parlay with a 2-game parlay and a parlay of a game. I did that before.
Let me check.
I'm doing 2 teams.
He's done it before.
Hey, Adam.
I just checked. It is allowed. I will allow it.
You better allow my foot go up in your ass.
I'll allow it. So your bet is
Pelicans over Knicks.
Mavericks
Money
over
line.
Raptor, Knicks over Pelicans, Warriors over Pacers, and Steph Curry on the over.
How many? What's his over?
His over is not up yet. I believe the Warriors game is for Sunday.
No, it's
Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Okay, what's the
But
next
he
Pelicans
said
game?
he was taking 25.
I want to take 25 or more. No, wait. How many points he's been scoring? Because you don't know what Curry.
You only had 16.
You just want to do whatever the over is?
I'm going to go with 20.
Careful, Adam. Be careful, Mike. You only had like 16 or 18 tonight. He's in a little funk right now.
Then I won't take him on the over then.
Are you taking Steph Curry on the over for points or not?
I'm thinking. Shut up.
Okay.
Don't rush me, you asshole. He scored 18.
Who will they play?
The Pacers.
Yeah, you better hope that's not a blowout.
Yeah, good point. I'm just going to take the Warriors over Pacers money line. That's my 2 parlays.
So you're taking Warriors over. Are you gonna? Do you want to do the Mavericks? Still want to do the Mavericks bet?
Nah, just Knicks over Pelicans, Warriors over Pistons.
Knicks over Pelicans, Warriors over Pacers, right?
Yeah, you hear that song. You hear that. The words of my man Lee Corso. You hear that song, sweetheart. You hear that song. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Bing bong.
Oh, first of all.
All right, guys. That's all for our bets, and that's all for this episode. Before we close out the show, I do want to give Mike and Marcellus the floor here. I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk about it too, but the other day was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we do want to take some time to honor the life and legacy of really like one of the biggest faces of the civil rights movement and the ongoing battle against racism, like in this country and the world. So, Michael Marcellus, did you want to take the floor here for a couple of minutes?
I'll take a floor. Here's the thing. As an African-American man, you have challenges. We had African-American men and African-American women and children had to live a lot in 300 years of this country. Racism. People said slavery wasn't that bad. Yeah, okay. We were exported from Africa to come to this country. First of all, we weren't supposed to literally be here on a map. They told them to go to the wrong place for slaves. I'm like, oh, better enough, we get black people for free. Boom, boom, boom. However, a great visionary says, I have a dream. We want to change the world of rights. I think it was August 17th. I don't know. 1960, August 1963 was the greatest day for Americans, for Black Americans. The I Have a Dream speech. Martin Luther King's mission is very important to me and my family, and my cousin Marcellus. Because of our people, my great grandmother, who came from Barbados, won the American dream, loved Martin Luther King. My family loves Martin Luther King. My father met Martin Luther King Jr.'s father when he was in college. My uncle worked with Martin Luther King. So there's a lot of bloodline. There's a lot of bloodline in that. To tell you guys this, as a black man, I am fundamentally proud. The day of Martin Luther King Day is the day of work, the day of recompense of the work he did for us, for all the achievements he did for Black Americans, for all Americans. We have to live his mission is in each and every one of us. You got to know the dream to make it in this country. Do I think his dream is dead? No. We got to keep working to leave his memory alive with MLK. Because everybody says we support MLK, but however, some of y'all want to be racist. Okay, that's a problem with me. Don't say you support MLK. Don't say you like MLK and you call me nigger behind my back. No, don't do that.
Exactly.
So don't say MLK was a great man and you're in the KKK. That's disrespectful. We are in 2022. Let's end racism once and for all. We all have red blood. We all humans. We all have a head, and we all have blood that's red. I know what I am: a 6'2", 290-pound African American male. So I hope you guys recommend and watch and be proud of Dr. King's legacy, who was taken way too soon from us on April 4th, 1968. Around 6:00 p.m. in Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. So, Dr. King, on behalf of Get Your Game On and all the King family, we appreciate what this man did for us, for this culture, for being our Jesus Christ. So, thank you.
Amen, brother. Amen. I mean,
God damn, I should be a pastor. My dad was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you. I don't know if you. I remember on Twitter I saw this promo for there's a animated film called Our Friend Martin,
and I
haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely.
You are kidding me. You never watched Our Friend Martin?
No, no. Oh, I just
Adam,
heard
in middle
about
school,
it. I gotta watch it. I know, but it looks really interesting. I'm definitely gonna sit down and watch it.
Adam, in every middle school they played.
In my middle school, they didn't.
On that note,
Alex, what thoughts? Did you have any thoughts of thoughts?
Mike pretty much said everything that I was going to say.
To our viewers, thanks for watching Get Your Game On with yours truly, Adam Gasani, Michael Cunningham, Adam Gasani, Marcellus Murdoch, and Alex Ray. If you want to have a question for our next episode, type it in on YouTube, and we'll give it for our next episode. So thank you. Stay lit. Love your family. Love your friends. Love sports. So thank you, and we are out.